Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to Java tutorial number 8. And in this game, in this tutorial we're going to be finishing up our adventure game. That's what I meant to say. Well, anyway, as you can see, this is not where I left you off last tutorial, and that's because I actually recorded this whole tutorial twice. Took me about 40 minutes because they're 20-minute tutorials. I did this whole thing, went through it all. Typed it all out, and Camp Studio broke the audio for both of them. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through this. I can't redo the whole tutorial, keep redoing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through this and teach you exactly what I did, but I'm not going to retype the whole thing. So essentially what I added was basically the ability to choose a path. So what happens is, after you choose your class, it goes down here and asks you to select whether you'd like to go left or right. Then it gets the input from the next line. Now the reason this is here twice, we're not quite sure. Basically, for some reason there's some weird bug and you have to put it in twice to get the input. I have no idea why, but just do it, it'll work. Anyway, so we move on down here, and we kind of did the opposite of what I did the opposite of what I did for the original one. So rather than calling a method, then using an if statement there, we put an if statement here, called the method, and then all of the tasks are now being handed over to other methods. So essentially what happens, if you input right as your direction, it calls the method right and it puts in class selection as an argument. So what we do is, let's say we put in right. So we're going to find right, which is right there, and we're going to set A equal to class selection. So now essentially what happens is we go in here and we look at, first of all, what happens is we had to reinitialize the scanner. Now basically the reason this had to happen was the scanner was made in the main method, and if you want to re-access it, you have to put it in whichever method you're using it in. So we reinitialized it here. And then we set another thing. So if A equals 1, you're a warrior going right, because we have A, and we know this is the method being called if you chose right. So we know exactly where they're going. Otherwise, that means if it's not a 1, then it's going to be a 2, which means you're an archer going right also. And then basically what I did was I created the option to choose a number 1 through 4. And this is sort of the first puzzle, and this is sort of the main part of this. So it lets you get another integer from the user. So we made a variable guess, we got the integer, and then we called another method. So essentially we called puzzle A. Now what this takes is it took guess, which was this, the answer, which was here, and then A, so that we could recall this method again and pass in A. So what happens is we go to puzzle A, which is down here. A is going to equal guess, B is going to equal and, C is going to equal A, which comes from here, which is class selection. So now if A is equal to B, so essentially guess is equal to ands, then you win. So it prints that out. Otherwise, it's going to call the method right again, and it's going to put in C, which we had set equal to A. It's going to put that in, and it's going to set A back equal to C, which equals A. So essentially it's setting A equal to itself. Really confusing way to say it, but that's what it's doing. And that's sort of the whole premise of this program right now. So it just calls different methods. You can pass in whatever information you want, and you can use that information to continue building upon this. So essentially, this is sort of going to be the end of this adventure game because we've kind of exhausted it. I mean, at this point, you have all the information you need to do basically anything you want with a game like this. You could sort of, do anything, just make more methods, pass in information, and you can create a whole story and everything. But anyway, in the next tutorial, we're going to be going on to creating more advanced methods, and we're also possibly going to be looking at multiple classes and objects. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe, give this video a like and share it if you enjoyed it, because that really helps me out. And anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.